Good morning. This is Sri Primo, and here to provide a quick recap of all the sports events that happen across the world in different sports. Let's start at home at NBA, where the Celtics played the Knicks and the Thunder played the Nuggets. There is a commentary I wanted to do at the end after the state of the NBA where we are. But the Celtics fell to the Knicks 108 to 105 in overtime. The Celtics were up by as much as 20 points, and entering the fourth quarter, they were up by 9. But when you look at, Jalen Brunson was the star for the Knicks. And then OG Anunoby was also 29 points. Brunson had 29. Hart played his mind out. I think he scored like 14, and Towns scored 14. For the Celtics, Tatum and Brown uh, scored 23 each. White and Holiday chipped in. But the story of the game, when you look at it, the field goal percentage was 35% for Celtics and 42% for the Knicks. But when you look at the 3 points, that's where the game was lost in my mind. The Celtics took 60 attempts. Let's think about this. 4 quarters, 60 attempts on an average, if you look at it. 15 3-point attempts in 1 quarter. And the Knicks themselves took 37. So between the Celtics and the Knicks, they took 97 3-point attempts. That's way too many, and that is the state of the current NBA. Maybe this is what the masses want to watch. This is what um, the NBA fans of uh, 2025 want to watch. High scoring games, um, pretty much different from what the Jordan or the Bird era and the Magic era was, where there were some games in the hundreds, but most of the time was locked down with defense. I think when you think about, and of course, when you take a lot of threes and you make a lot of threes, and you can talk about the smoothness of the game and talk about how efficient this team is from the 3-point shooting um, space. So there you go, 45 missed attempts in 3 pointers, which is itself is an NBA record. And when I look at these Knicks also had like 17 for 31 in free throws. So if they make their free throws, this game would have been much different for the Celtics as well. But right now the Celtics are now down going into the second home game. They need to win that. It's a must-win game. They can't go into New York losing two. Um, Maybe I'll think that they'll bounce back. But that is the state of the NBA today. And when I even look at the other game between the Nuggets and Thunder, the Nuggets were able to beat the Thunder 121-119. Again, when you think about the number of 3-pointers taken there, 75 3-point attempts between the teams. And there were the same thing. The Nuggets lost because they were 15 for 43. They missed, they didn't miss as much as the Celtics. They missed 28 3-pointers, and Celtics missed 45. And that really tells you where the game is today. And I really feel that personally, I'm covering sports, personally as a sports fan, or personally as an NBA fan that has watched the greatness of Magic, Bird, and Jordan. Of course, we never got to see Will Chamberlain play or Russell play, but just to think about where the NBA has come from the greats that played this game to where we are right now. And that is one of the reasons why the NBA can never compete with the NFL. As much as the fact that a lot of the rules have been diluted in all the sports right now, um, the NBA will. I would like to see the ratings for some of these games. Apart from the fans in Boston and New York and this surrounding areas, you're not going to see diehard fans tune in to a game like this, unlike the NFL. And the NBA I don't think they're going to change it. I think this is where it's going to be. This is the new normal. When you had two games and you had close to 173 point attempts taken, that tells you where the game is today. The defense has, there was so many plays in the game. You can see some good defense from time to time, but when you see the way the players are guarding the other players, almost giving them like space to shoot a 2 pointer or a 3 pointer, there's the players are not playing like they used to play in the past in the 90s with the Jordan and the Pippins areas and the Barclays eras, the Knicks and the Bulls. I mean, those glorious days of battling it out. I know it was physical, but I think you played defense. You moved the ball, um, and I was just thinking about it where if you try to move the ball, even the Celtics, like instead of missing 45 3 pointers, those 45 3 pointers, even if you move the ball and say you made maybe even 40% of in twos or something like that, you would have easily won this game going away. So if the Celtics could take any solace, they could rebound um, and come back and play a little more of the team ball rather than uh, the current generation of players who just launch threes um, when there's no reason to launch. When there's, I mean, there is a whole thing about situational game that happens all the time. I'm not saying that teams in the past never came from 20 points down. It could happen with the multiple ways. One thing could be the one team goes cold, the other team starts to play better. But what you're seeing right now is that both the teams bring up the ball on the floor and launch these threes for no reason without, and all the other four players are just standing there trying. There's not even a player who tries to go and get the rebound sometimes. So that's one of the things that I see in all these games right now. And even when I was looking at like the offensive rebounds and the defensive rebounds, right? I mean, they're pretty good because the balls are getting launched out like from 3 pointers. So obviously, if they're going to miss it, their good teams are going to get the rebound. That's a very bad indicator of uh, you know the team leading in offensive or defensive rebounds because the way the game has changed, the way the game has become very one dimensional, I would call it. And that's where we are with today's NBA. And I know this was a longer podcast just on one sport because all the other sports today are off. I mean, obviously, Major League Baseball has 162 games. We'll get to them at some point. But um, but this is where we are with the NBA. And hopefully things change, but I don't see this changing because that's the current nature of the NBA. So with that, Celtics down 0-1, and then same thing with the the Nuggets were up 1-0 against the Thunder. With that, we wrap it up. Thanks again for listening.